Extinct animals have long captured human curiosity, especially the giant predators of the past. When discussing the largest carnivorous mammals, most people immediately think of Andrewsarchus, an ancient predator often considered the biggest land-dwelling meat-eater among mammals. But what if that title belongs to a far more recent and mysterious beast? During the Ice Age in North America, a true giant roamed the earth, called Arctodus simus, or giant short-faced bear. It was towering over modern bears and rivaling the fiercest predators of its time. But was it the undisputed king of Ice Age carnivores, or was its dominance more complex than we think? The story of Arctodus simus began with fossil discoveries spanning from Alaska to Mexico, revealing a bear species that defied comparison to any modern relative. Early paleontologists, upon unearthing its massive bones, initially classified it as an oversized grizzly. However, further examination of its unique skeletal features, such as its deep skull and unusually long limbs, led to the realization that this was an entirely different type of bear. Named Arctodus simus, meaning short-faced bear, its skull exhibited a reduced snout, giving it a distinctly different profile from today's bears. This short face may have enhanced its bite force, making it a powerful carnivore. As more fossils were uncovered, scientists began to understand the extent of its range and dominance in Ice Age ecosystems. Despite its resemblance to modern bears, this species belonged to a separate, now extinct subfamily known as Tremarctini. This group included the South American Arctotherium, some of which rivaled Arctodus in size. Its only surviving relative today is the spectacled bear, which is a far smaller and more docile species. Unlike the bulky grizzlies and black bears of today, Arctodus had long, slender limbs that suggested a different mode of movement, potentially covering large distances at high speeds. These physical adaptations have led scientists to question whether it was a long-distance scavenger, an endurance predator, or a combination of both. The Paleocene epoch, following the extinction of the dinosaurs, was a time of rapid mammalian evolution, giving rise to some of the largest terrestrial predators. Arctodus simus thrived in this changing world, adapting to new ecological pressures and evolving into one of the most powerful carnivorous mammals of its era. The shifting climate and expanding forests and grasslands played a crucial role in shaping its physical traits, including its immense size and long limbs. As one of the dominant predators of its time, its existence raises fascinating questions about how it hunted, scavenged, and competed for survival in this dynamic prehistoric landscape. While Arctodus simus is the most famous, it was not the only member of its lineage. Scientists have identified 5 key species of short-faced bears. The one already mentioned, Arctodus simus, was the giant of North America, standing as one of the largest terrestrial carnivores of the Ice Age. A smaller relative, Arctodus pristinus, was found primarily in eastern North America and may have been an ancestor to Arctodus simus. Meanwhile, South America was home to Arctotherium angustidens, which may have surpassed even Arctodus simus in size, potentially making it the largest bear ever discovered. Other species, such as Arctotherium bonariense and Arctotherium vetustum, were smaller, yet still formidable predators that persisted longer than their gigantic relatives. These different species raise evolutionary questions. Did Arctodus and Arctotherium share a direct common ancestor, or did they evolve their immense size separately? The typical specimen weighed around 800 kilograms, or 1,760 pounds, towering at 3.4 meters or 11 feet when standing upright. For comparison, the largest modern bear, the polar bear, rarely exceeds 700 kilograms or 1,500 pounds. Even at this average size, Arctodus simus would have been an imposing presence on the Ice Age landscape, capable of intimidating most other predators. While Arctodus was nowhere near the size of the great theropod dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex, it was undeniably the largest mammalian predator in North America during the Pleistocene. Its size outclassed both Smilodon fetalis and Panthera atrox, leading to speculation about how it dominated its ecosystem. However, being this large came with challenges, such as the need for large hunting grounds, high caloric intake, and stiff competition from other predators. Scientists continue to debate whether its massive frame was an advantage or a disadvantage in the constantly changing Ice Age environment. Some fossils suggest that the largest individuals reached astonishing sizes. Some estimates place the largest specimens at over 1,100 kilograms or 2,400 pounds, towering 4.5 meters or 15 feet when standing on their hind legs. On all fours, these giants stood 1.8 meters or 6 feet at the shoulder, taller than an average human. Such individuals would have required vast territories and enormous amounts of food to sustain their bulk, making their survival particularly challenging. To put its immense height into perspective, an average grizzly bear stands around 2.7 meters or 9 feet on its hind legs. Arctodus simus far exceeded this, standing up to 4.5 meters or 15 feet tall. This towering stature allowed it to survey vast landscapes, potentially giving it an edge in spotting prey or scavenging opportunities from great distances. The Ice Age favored megafauna, as larger animals had a survival advantage in cold climates due to better heat retention. This giant bear was no exception. Its enormous size helped it conserve body heat and dominate other predators. Additionally, its long limbs suggest that covering vast distances was essential to its survival, whether for hunting or scavenging. Its sheer bulk may have also helped it deter competition, making it a top-tier carnivore of its time. Scientists debate whether it was a true predator or a scavenger. If it was a hunter, its potential prey included Ice Age horses, giant ground sloths, bison, and even juvenile mammoths. Some theories suggest it may have relied on endurance rather than ambush tactics, chasing down prey until it was exhausted, much like modern wolves do. Unlike today's bears, which often rely on ambush tactics or brute force, this unique species had adaptations that suggest a different approach. Its immense strength would have allowed it to overpower large animals, but its long limbs hint at a capacity for high-speed pursuit. Some scientists propose that rather than being a dedicated hunter, it may have functioned as a kleptoparasite, using its intimidating size to steal kills from smaller predators like saber-toothed cats and dire wolves. With its long limbs and lightweight build for a bear of its size, Arctodus simus may have been one of the fastest bears in history. Estimates suggest it could reach speeds of 65 kilometers per hour, which is 40 miles per hour, comparable to a galloping horse. Unlike today's bears, which rely on short bursts of speed, this bear used its long legs for endurance running, allowing it to cover vast distances in search of prey or scavenging opportunities. However, some paleontologists argue that its limbs, though long, were too gracile to sustain high speeds for long periods. The way it moved has been a subject of debate. Some researchers propose that its long legs gave it a loping gait similar to that of hyenas, allowing it to travel great distances with efficiency. However, others argue that its build was not suited for prolonged running, and that it may have used short bursts of speed combined with ambush tactics. Fossil evidence suggests that it may have been better at covering large areas rather than engaging in prolonged chases, raising questions about whether it was truly built for speed or relied more on scavenging and intimidation. Like modern bears, it may have had an opportunistic diet, consuming fruits, roots, and carrion when meat was scarce. However, isotopic analysis of its bones suggests a diet heavily reliant on meat, indicating that it was more carnivorous than most living bears. This dietary flexibility may have allowed it to thrive in various environments, though it ultimately could not adapt to the changes that led to its extinction. Arctodus shared its world with several formidable predators. The most well-known was Smilodon fatalis, the saber-toothed cat, which may have competed with Arctodus for prey and scavenging rights. Another major predator was the direwolf, which, while smaller than Arctodus, relied on pack hunting strategies to take down large prey. These wolves likely avoided direct confrontations with Arctodus due to its size and strength. However, the greatest competition may have come from Panthera atrox, the American lion, which was one of the few predators large enough to challenge Arctodus Simus in direct combat. These interactions would have played a key role in shaping the ecosystem of Ice Age North America, with Arctodus potentially acting as an apex scavenger that stole kills rather than actively hunting. Like modern bears, Arctodus mothers likely gave birth in dens during the winter, with cubs emerging in the spring. Cubs were born tiny and helpless, comparable in size to a modern puppy. They likely stayed with their mother for 2 to 3 years, learning essential survival skills, such as hunting, scavenging, and defending themselves from other predators. A mother Arctodus would have been extremely protective, potentially even capable of fending off a Smilodon or panthers to protect her young. Fossil evidence suggests that, like modern bears, juvenile Arctodus may have had a playful but aggressive nature, testing their strength against their siblings while learning critical survival skills. Given the dangerous Ice Age environment, very few cubs would have survived to adulthood, making maternal care crucial for the species' continuation. Fossil evidence shows bite marks and broken bones that suggest territorial battles between Arctodus individuals. These fights may have been over food, mates, or dominance within a given area. Given its massive size, a fully grown Arctodus would have been a formidable opponent. However, these aggressive interactions could have played a role in its decline, with injuries or competition making survival more difficult. There is limited but intriguing evidence suggesting that Ice Age humans may have encountered Arctodus simus. While no direct hunting evidence exists, humans and Arctodus likely competed for similar food sources. As humans spread across North America, their hunting and environmental changes could have contributed to the decline of large carnivores like Arctodus. If humans scavenged kills before Arctodus could reach them, this may have impacted its ability to find enough food to survive. Several factors likely contributed to the extinction of this prehistoric bear. Climate change played a major role, as warming temperatures led to forests replacing the open grasslands that Arctodus thrived in. These denser environments may have made it difficult for such a large, cursorial bear to hunt or scavenge effectively. Additionally, the arrival of humans introduced a new competitor into the ecosystem. Though no evidence directly proves humans hunted Arctodus, they may have competed for food resources, further limiting its ability to survive. Another significant blow came from the loss of megafauna, with mammoths, giant bison, and other large prey disappearing, leaving Arctodus without a stable food source. The combination of these pressures likely sealed its fate, leading to its extinction around 12,000 years ago. While Arctodus simus vanished, some of its relatives in South America lasted longer. The Arctotherium lineage included species that were smaller and more adaptable, allowing them to persist beyond the extinction of their northern cousin. Some of these bears evolved to live in more forested environments, reducing their reliance on large prey. This ability to exploit different ecological niches may have been the key to their survival, as they avoided direct competition with other large carnivores. Some species of Arctotherium gradually shifted towards a more herbivorous diet, relying on plants rather than large prey. This dietary shift may have been a crucial factor in their longevity, as it allowed them to survive in ecosystems that could no longer support large carnivores. By becoming less reliant on meat, they avoided the food shortages that contributed to the extinction. While there is no definitive proof, giant bear stories in Native American folklore may have stemmed from encounters with the remnants of Arctodus populations or from fossil discoveries. Some even speculate that legends of creatures like Bigfoot or the Wendigo could have been influenced by ancient knowledge of Arctodus simus. Additionally, its fossils have sparked the imagination of scientists and enthusiasts, inspiring depictions in media and scientific reconstructions of prehistoric megafauna. If Arctodus survived, would it be a top predator in modern ecosystems? Its massive size would make it a formidable competitor, potentially rivaling grizzlies and polar bears. However, its specialized adaptations may have made it ill-suited for today's fragmented and human-dominated landscapes. If it had adapted to forests, it could have evolved into a more omnivorous, generalist species. However, given the challenges large predators face today, its survival would have been an uphill battle. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. You can also comment which creature you would like to see next. See you next time, hopefully,